Hey, what's up guys, Shiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the potential problem that's on the horizon for CSGO investing. Let's hop on into it. Now for this video, I've got three major problems that could be on the horizon for CSGO investing that I want to talk about and basically go over each one and tell you what my thoughts are on it. First up here, we're going to be really leaning on this chart right here. It's the number of cases unboxed from September 1st to October 3rd. We're just going to say it's the entirety of September for ease purposes. But basically what's going on here is almost 24 million cases are unboxed. But we're going to be focusing in on a couple specific cases from this, and mainly the ones with really bad ROI. And that's the first problem I think CSGO is going to have in the future, is a very low ROI is going to decrease the amount of cases people are opening. Now I feel right now CSGO has a little bit of a break, and if you don't understand what I mean, I'll get to it in just a second. If you look at the most competitive casino rates out there, you're going to notice it's usually 90% or above, which is usually standard for pretty much wherever you go and whatever you do. But the thing is, for CSGO cases right here, it depends on what case you open, but if you're going to be opening up a glove case, on average you're going to be getting only 22% of your money back, which is significantly terrible. If you want to put that into consideration, something like the Powerball or the Mega Millions has a 50% return out to the entire country or whoever wins, which is a very low statistic or very low return for pretty much any casino or any lottery in general. The fact that Valve is offering up 40% of that or 20% return in total is absolutely crazy, and something that I think is going to start catching up with the game eventually. If we want to look at the best returning cases, you're not getting anything above a 60% for a case that's $1 or less. The best thing is going to be the Chroma 2 case at a 58%. Otherwise, you're putting in a significant amount of money on a case that costs maybe $7 or $5 to open, and therefore your ROI is going to be a little bit higher, but it's not worth it for you to do so. Now, obviously, this is not a problem right now, but I think once this information becomes a little bit more publicized, maybe, I don't know, I really don't understand why people unbox CSGO cases in general. There's definitely the aspect of people like Jesus who are able to write it off on their taxes, and therefore opening up cases is not that terrible of an adventure or a kind of business expense for them to do because they can write it off. But for the average player, getting 50% return on your money is absolutely terrible, and you open up multiple cases, you might be left with less than $1's worth of items. The second problem I could see CSGO having, and is something that is a little bit more commonly seen, at least at this point, than the other two in my opinion, is CSGO running out of cases. Now, a while ago I created a video talking about the Danger Zone case and how 500,000 of these cases disappeared from the market in a snap of a finger. Absolutely crazy to see that many disappear. And obviously we do see the resurgence of the case on the market. There's still millions of almost every single case out there, to the point where the case is not going to lose all of its quantity and go up to whatever dollar amount you're thinking, but the fact that it was able to lose 500,000 of them is definitely a big concern for talking about running out of cases. Obviously everyone knows that there used to be a significant amount of 3-cent cases, and now the cheapest case you can grab is for 15 to 20 cents depending on the market and the time of day. Now this problem is kind of connected to the overall drop pool slowing down for CSGO. I understand as a game and as a company, CSGO cannot infinitely produce cases and skins. It just doesn't make sense, and at some point you are going to run into a major issue, an issue even bigger than running out of cases slowly. It's going to happen where the entire value of CSGO skins and overall in general is going to plummet because people realize there's no reason to pick up older items. The game has a pretty decent balance right now, relatively speaking, but I do think this is something that needs to be addressed at some point, whether that means upgrading the amount of cases in the active drop pool from 2 a week to 3 a week that you can receive, or very small amounts like that, something small that needs to be done. Even though there is so many ways that you can farm cases, it's obviously not effective enough for the overall market to not be feeling the pain of it. The third problem that I could definitely see coming up is getting priced out. Now, what I mean by this is definitely vague, and it's intentionally vague. If we want to look at something like the Cattle 14 capsules, most people are priced out from them. It's too expensive and the ROI is too low for it to be worth their time to look into it or open it up or do anything with it. The main thing I'm getting at here with being priced out is the fact that some point along the way, we could get to a point where cases are in the dollar amounts per if they're not in the active duty. Therefore, we could see the overall number of case unboxings drop, and therefore that's going to be less growth for people as an investor into these cases. Now, this is a very first world problem, and I'm not going to lie, out of all of the problems on this list, this one is not necessarily a terrible problem to have if you're already invested in. The fact that your investments might grow slightly slower is not something that's going to scare too many people, but it's definitely something for concern as a game if you're hoping that this game is going to flourish on for many, many years to come. I don't think this is one of the bigger problems, but it's definitely something that is still there, and it's honestly something that's a little bit of a concern for me if I want to try and build a business off of CSGO items or CSGO skins in general. Now, the biggest thing about these problems is individually, most of them are not going to make much of a difference. The market is looking very healthy. The market is looking better than it ever has before. But the one downside with that is we start looking at the future and looking at exactly what the market needs to flourish even further. And these are the issues that pop up, at least in my opinion. The biggest thing that I'm looking at here is the long-term effect of all of these problems slowly coming together. That's the biggest thing here, is I don't expect any of these problems individually to make that big of a difference that it would be a major concern for most players. The biggest thing I'm looking at is when all of these problems come together, what's going to happen, and that's where I truly get a little bit nervous, especially with these problems of cases going up in price, ROI decreasing, meaning that the supply is going down, but the demand is going down even faster, because why would you spend your money on a casino that has a super low return to player rate when you could go gamble at an actual casino online with very little regulation as well, and therefore it comes into a very large problem. CSGO has flourished up to this point with their cases and their case unboxings, but the thing is, these case unboxings aren't necessarily going to be forever, and unless something is changed in the upcoming year or potentially years, I mean, this problem isn't like right around the corner, it's definitely going to be something that could eventually hurt the game long term significantly more than it would if you were to fix it in the short term here. Other than that, I've got a little bonus problem here, because this is just something that's come up when I'm trying to go through this video, is that the Steam servers still suck. I thought we went over this when Broken Fang was on and you had to refresh the Steam community market page like 12 times to get it to go through. I'm having that problem right now, and the Steam player numbers are nowhere near what they were at. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.